Si Hyuk sends private message to Jimin and Jungkook, will BTS change? That morning the atmosphere of HYB's office was not as usual. A news blew slowly but sharply like a cold wind that crept between the walls of their high-rise building. It's not about the release of the song, it's not about the tour schedule, and it's not about the promotion plan. The news was about a private message sent directly by the most influential figure behind BTS's success, Si Hyuk, to the two people who are now the center of attention, Jimin and Jungkook. The message was not sent through an official email or corporate group chat, but through a private message that was deliberately addressed only to the two of them. None of the staff knew for sure what the message contained. But as always, in the world of celebrities, secrets of any magnitude are difficult to keep for a long time. Some sources in HYB began to whisper that the message was not just a warm greeting or congratulation. There are different nuances in the content of the message, something much more serious, something that will probably change the direction of BTS's future journey. Jimin and Jungkook, who have been known to have a strong emotional bond with each other, become two trusted figures to receive the secret message. Time goes on. Soon, the public began to smell something unusual. Jimin and Jungkook are seen meeting more and more often in private, even outside of official activities. Some fans reported that the two were seen talking seriously in the corners of the BTS Festa 2025 location, with an expression that is far from the lighthearted jokes they usually show in front of the army. One of the sources within the company eventually leaked to Korean media that Si Hyuk sent the message as a form of deep reflection on BTS's journey of more than a decade. In his message, he wrote about the importance of continuing BTS's legacy in a way that is relevant and honest to each member's personal development. He also expressed his hope that Jimin and Jungkook consider the next big step that will not only impact their careers individually, but also on the colors and direction of BTS as a group. Si Hyuk is mentioned emphatically writing that he believes, right now, Jimin and Jungkook are the two figures who are most capable of taking BTS to the next round. The message is not an instruction, nor is it an order. The message was a calling, a hope delivered personally, almost like an inherited mandate. Jimin read the message over and over again. In his heart, mixed feelings arose. He felt touched by being trusted, but he also felt the weight of carrying the possibility of such a great responsibility. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who also received a similar message, felt something different. For Jungkook, the message was a turning point. I've always wondered about the future of BTS. Will they continue together in full formation? Or are they going to slow down? A few days after receiving the message, the two ended up meeting in private, away from the spotlight of the cameras. The meeting lasted a long time, longer than usual. They talk heart to heart, discuss the contents of Si Hyuk's message, talk about possibilities that they have been thinking about but have never publicly conveyed. Jimin gently expressed his doubts. He was afraid that he would disappoint the army if he took too drastic a step. But Jungkook, with a slowly growing confidence in himself, tries to calm Jimin down. He believed that whatever their decision would be, if it was based on honesty and sincerity, the army would understand. Jungkook felt it was time for them to write a new chapter, not to leave BTS, but to let BTS grow in a form that may have never been imagined before. Over time, their meetings continued into deeper discussions with other members. Jungkook and Jimin eventually brought the contents of the message into BTS's circle. They do not want to make unilateral decisions. They discuss it with RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, and V. They spend long nights together, recalling their journey from trainee days to becoming the global group they are today. All the members were silent for quite a while when Jimin read out part of Si Hyuk's message in front of them. It felt like a faint farewell message, but it also felt like a door slowly opening to a new future. Si Hyuk asked them to start thinking about how BTS can stay alive, even if one day, maybe they will no longer always perform together on one stage. Jin, who was already more mature in looking at the industry, finally smiled and said that maybe this was the path they should take. That change is not the end, but part of growth. Suga added that as long as the essence of BTS is maintained, whatever form it takes, They are still one family. RM, with his characteristic calmness, looked at them all and said, "Maybe this is the time where we should start trusting our instincts, not just the systems that shape us." Jungkook and Jimin, who became the axis of this discussion, began to think about the future in a different way. They realized that the burden they carry is the burden of hope for millions of people. But they also realized that in order to keep BTS alive, they had to be brave to face change. A few months after the incident, rumors appeared that BTS was preparing a new format, a project that allows the members to focus more on individual journeys while still being tied into one big narrative as BTS. These rumors grew stronger when Jimin and Jungkook were seen working on projects together several times, but with a much more personal and experimental approach than their previous works. Si Hyuk himself has not given an official statement, but in a short interview, he said that BTS is a group that will never die. They may change shape, may change ways, but their hearts will always be connected. He also touched on the importance of giving space for each member to grow so that BTS does not become a burden, but becomes a home that is always comfortable to return to. For the ARMY, this change is a process that must be lived together. They've been walking hand in hand with BTS for too long to know that no matter what happens, their love won't change. They have watched the members grow, fall, rise, and now they are preparing to welcome a new chapter, however unexpected it may be. And for Jimin and Jungkook, a personal message from Si Hyuk is not pressure. For them, it is the highest sign of trust, that they are trusted to be the pioneers of change, trusted to take BTS step into the future without losing the soul that has made them loved. That night, before going to bed, Jungkook writes in his notebook, "Change doesn't always mean separation. Sometimes, change is another way of staying together, in a broader, stronger form." Jimin wrote on his phone, "ARMY, we will never leave you. We're just opening a new door. Let's see where this path leads us." A few weeks after the private message from Si Hyuk became a hot secret in BTS internal circles, the atmosphere around the members began to change. It's no longer just about touring schedules or intense workouts like before. This time, each meeting felt more personal, deeper. Jungkook, who is usually busy with his solo affairs, starts spending more time with Jimin, not to talk about projects, but rather to talk about life, the future, and the fear that slowly haunts them, the fear of losing the form of BTS that they have known for so long. Jimin has been seen several times spending more time in a private studio, musing and writing lyrics that sound much more reflective compared to his previous work. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who has always been known as the Golden Magne, seems more reserved. He began to rethink what home meant to him and wondered if one day BTS really chose to take a different path, would that home still feel intact? One night, during a long studio session, Jimin and Jungkook finally picked up the conversation they had been holding in their hearts. "If we change, are you afraid, Jungkook?" Jimin asked quietly, his voice almost like a whisper. Jungkook fell silent, staring at the monitor screen displaying their recorded songs. "I'm afraid," she answered honestly, "but I'm more afraid that we force everything to stay the same just because we're afraid of change." That answer hung in the air for a long time, as if it were the conclusion of all the long discussions they had gone through. They finally understand. Maybe all this time they have been too busy running, trying to maintain what they have built, forgetting that the most important thing is not in the form, but in the meaning that they always keep. After that conversation, the two of them began to open up to the other members. Informal discussion sessions in the rehearsal room that used to be filled with laughter are now a deeper space, full of stories and plans for the future that is no longer just about the big stage and thousands of lights.